At least 19 people, including 4 journalists, were killed in an Israeli strike on the Nasser Hospital in southern Gaza on Monday. Among the dead were journalists from Al Jazeera, Reuters, NBC, and a freelance reporter recruited by Associated Press, along with rescue workers responding to the initial explosion. The journalists killed include Al Jazeera's Mohammed Salama, Reuters contractor Hossam Al-Masri, NBC's Moaz Abu Taha, and freelance reporter Mariam Abu Daka. Hatem Khaled, another Reuters photojournalist, was wounded in the attack, adding to the growing toll on media workers covering the conflict. According to witnesses, the attack began with an Israeli explosive drone strike that hit the hospital rooftop, killing Masri. A second airstrike struck moments later as journalists, rescue workers and civilians rushed to help those injured in the first attack. Israel Defense Forces have released a statement saying,
Earlier today, IDF troops carried out a strike in the area of Nasser Hospital in Khan Younis. The chief of the general staff instructed to conduct an initial inquiry as soon as possible. The IDF regrets any harm to uninvolved individuals and does not target journalists as such. The IDF acts to mitigate harm to uninvolved individuals as much as possible while maintaining the safety of IDF troops.
The Palestinian Health Ministry confirmed the death toll, while the Palestinian Journalist Syndicate says that since the start of the war in October 2023, at least 244 Palestinian journalists and media workers have been killed by Israeli fire across Gaza. Mahmoud Basal, spokesperson for Gaza's civil defense, condemned the attack, saying, "The occupation wants to destroy all aspects of life in the Gaza Strip for the citizens. The occupation is committing direct crimes in front of the world, in addition to the crime of starvation." UN and international press agencies have highlighted the dangers facing journalists in Gaza. Reuters confirmed that Masri was operating the live video feed from the hospital, which suddenly shut down at the moment of the initial strike. Associated Press officials confirmed that freelance journalist Mariam Abu Daka, killed in the strike, was hired by their agency. NBC's Moaz Abu Taha was also among those killed while covering the emergency response at Nasser Hospital. On August 10th, Al Jazeera journalist Anas al-Sharif was killed in an Israeli airstrike on Gaza City. Israel's military claimed al-Sharif headed a Hamas cell responsible for rocket attacks, calling him a terrorist operative. However, press freedom advocates and Palestinian journalist groups strongly condemned the killing, describing it as a targeted attack on the press. The scale of the attack reflects a broader pattern of violence targeting journalists and medical facilities. Gaza's government and humanitarian officials have repeatedly called for an end to the targeting of hospitals, clinics, and aid convoys, citing international humanitarian law. The Nasser Hospital attack comes amid one of the deadliest periods of the Gaza war, with the health system already struggling under the blockade and previous strikes. Children, patients, and frontline medical staff remain particularly vulnerable. Palestinian authorities continue to document casualties and call for accountability for the deaths of civilians and journalists alike.